Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is KioBoomDiekin. I know we've been away for a little bit, but we've still been posting videos and everything. But tonight we're going to get right into the action. I definitely want to introduce two of the guests that will be joining us tonight on the burn. We have Jason from Iowa Fireworks Farm Store, and we also have Wilson from Chili Fireworks. And before I bring them on, just to let you guys know, this is actually a rare occurrence that we have someone from the Chinese manufacturing plant here with us today. And I was speaking to these gentlemen some time ago, and they said that this was kind of a weird, unusual occurrence. It's kind of rare because you don't hear directly from a lot of people who manufacture the fireworks themselves. So let's go ahead and bring them on right now. We have Wilson and we also have Jason. How you guys doing tonight?
Everybody.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Good. So, Jason, you've been here before, and then of course we have Wilson as well. And it's my understanding that Chili Fireworks is one of your distributors or providers for fireworks.
Yep, we placed an order with them. We're bringing in their new shell line. We got a container of that they're in process with. We got a really cool 500-gram fountain with a mine blast at the end of it, which is very rare to find that they make. We ordered a bunch of those from them, and we've got a cake project, ongoing project we're working on for next year. So, but you know, I was sitting in this chair talking to Wilson and the team over there, and you know, we were just talking to regular business and going through our updates and things like that. And then it dawned on me, I was like, you know what? This show here, we're all about being transparent. Why not bring somebody directly from China in so that the viewers can see, through their eyes and get to know Wilson, and he's got a pretty good social media presence out there. He's always commenting on all the pages, and he's a true pyro. He's got this look in his eyes when that's how you know for sure.
And he's also a Kobe fan.
He loves basketball. He's diehard basketball. So everybody, that's Wilson.
All right, Wilson, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your company and what you do, and
And actually, our company was set up in 1997. That was over 20 years ago. And at first, we were just selling to Europe a lot during the past years. And this is the fourth year for us to enter in the USA market, carrying the brand of Black Scorpion. Of course, we have some, special products selling, and some other, 500-gram cakes production going on right now. I grew up in this place where fireworks were made, but I've been in this business only for over 4 years. But fireworks is not a new thing for me, so there's kind of passion for me towards fireworks, and the meaning that I work in this business is not that I only sell fireworks. I not only just make money out of it. I enjoy the look on the people's face when they see fireworks bursting in the sky. So that's the ultimate meaning for me to do this job. So yeah, that's what Jason said. That's true. I'm a pyro.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the company. Like, what do you guys specialize in? In terms of the fireworks there at the factory that you guys make, what do you guys really specialize in, and how do what are your challenges as far as supplying the American market?
So actually, we have two factories. One is for cakes, and one is for fountains. As a manufacturer, you cannot produce all types of fireworks, including canister shells, assortments, and some other like cakes. You cannot produce all of them. So for us, we have over 20 years producing fireworks and selling to the Europe. We do a lot of private labels for the Europe markets in the past few years. And up till now, we have finished loading over 60% of our total orders, around the globe. So which is over 200 containers. But considering the worst shipping condition right now, I'm not sure we are gonna finish all the orders or not. I'm not 100% sure. That's
Right.
very different from the past. So the big challenge for us in the next few months in 2021 is to load as much as we can and push the productions, especially
Right.
um, the cakes and fountains and assortments. We are going to load in at the end of this year, and we hope to ship them out before April 2022. They are
Okay.
hope they get up 4th of July. That's the
Right.
big challenge. And we also have some other pressures from our suppliers. The price trend is not looking good.
Okay.
The raw materials price is taking up every day. That's the
Okay.
problem we are facing.
So, can you forecast a little bit about what something may cost in 2022 or 2023, just based upon what you know
Well,
now?
The shipping conditions, I must say, it's not going to end now. Not going to end. I guess it's probably going to last like over 5 or 6 months. Going to last, and the price of the fireworks are not going to be, as normal as before. Not going to be the same. In our supply chain, the price take 20 to 30% of the raw materials. So that's gonna add up to the consumer end, and you probably you're gonna spend double money on the fireworks, same amount as before. So next year, actually, for us, we have new plans are not come out yet. For
Uh,
us, in the first half of the year, I say it's depends on the weather, you know, because if there's a lot of rain in Hunan province, if you look out the
mhm.
window, and in 2021, the year of 2021, um, there's too much rain, and it didn't stop until May. So in the first half of the 2021, we have not bring many products. So the production peak would between June to October. Let's say June, July, August. No August. There's summer stop. September and October. It's only 5 to 6 months in total.
Mhm.
Wilson, I
So
think that's important. I think that's something that the viewers would really ought to know is that
mhm,
fireworks are not made 24/7, 365 in China.
of course not.
If you could elaborate on the heat bands and some of the new regulations with, especially when you're mixing these chemicals. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
safety concern, but if you could elaborate on that, because I think people have it in their mind that production doesn't stop, and that is definitely not
Right.
true.
Mhm. And
And
it's
there's
more
nothing
going
that you
live.
can do. It's not that you as the manufacturer, you know,
Yes.
you want to keep producing, but you can't. So if you could elaborate on that, that'd be great.
Right.
Yes. Of course. So it's kind of policy oriented. You cannot do whatever you want. And sometimes we want to we want to finish it, but you can't. You just can't. You're not allowed to do that. So I'm not sure how the COVID thing is going to go in 2022,
Mhm.
but if it continues like this, I think it's going to be worse than 2021. So, as far as I'm concerned, the government's cutting down the number of the approved license of the factories and companies, and they're not going to issue any more license. So, um, as I know, there only 40 to 50% of the in this industry, factories that are export fireworks to the United States, and the other half is selling to domestic markets and European and some other countries. So, and their factories are quitting too. They're not doing this business anymore. So, um, there are going to be more and more, gridlock. I say gridlock on the way that we sell fireworks and producing fireworks. So,
Okay.
uh, when you say forecast or any estimated point of view, for us, nothing is stable. We have
Okay.
so many factors that gonna you know and interruptions, so many interruptions. We cannot we cannot do we cannot even promise our customer I can 100 promise that I can deliver your products on time. That
Right.
is the situation we are facing right now. The fireworks are not normal products at the anything else on the market.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've heard recently what's going on here in America, but I know uh, President Biden and then several of the other, I think the LA Port Authority and somebody else, they got together and like now the ports will be open 24/7. I'm not sure how long
Yes.
that's going to go for, but I just can't imagine that they were backlogged that long to say, hey, let's going to go ahead and make this open 24/7. So that's going to
Mhm.
have some restraints there. And then also there are truck drivers just sitting on the road waiting for loads to take. So it's not the truck driver's fault, it's the bottleneck that's happening at the port right now. And so most
Mhm.
of that congestion is on our side because I know previously it was like, hey, what's going on with China? Stuff's not coming through. But now it's like, all right, stuff is there at the sea, at sea, like even video games and stuff. We even have a
Mhm.
problem now where certain stores are running out of toilet paper. People can't order furniture. All of that stuff is sitting right at the port.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I saw the news, and of course, there's a lot of ships on the water, and there's a lot of containers sitting out there, and probably this is the worst Christmas that you guys gonna have, and I'm
mhm.
very sorry about that. Um, at the very first beginning, I thought it was doing only for fireworks. It's only happening fireworks, but as it turns out, it's a global thing
Yeah.
and involved all kinds of business. So this this shipment thing is also happening in China now, and there's a lot of ships in out there on the water in the Chinese ports as well, and also I'm not sure if it is true. They say there's a shortage of truck drivers in the states on land right now,
Yeah.
and so as low employment rate, nobody work in the port, shortage of trucks on land, so the empty containers not getting back to China, and
Mhm.
so we have no containers to load so many cargoes, especially fireworks. The the logistic company, told us that there's only 3 to 5 containers loading fireworks in one ship, but that is um, um, unusual. It's nothing like before. So,
So
and
you say there's 3 to 5, but yeah, you said
yeah,
there's
the
three to
three to
five
five.
containers on a ship, but how many are normally on a ship for that carries fireworks?
It depends on how big the ship is. Totally around, I say, 40,000 containers.
Oh
Well,
Jesus,
not, I know. I don't know.
man,
4,000 or I don't know.
man,
No idea.
that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
big
lot.
drop.
Yeah,
Mhm.
small percentage. And not every ship will even touch it. It's not like every ship leaving Shanghai or Beihai has a certain percentage of firework allocated to it. It's not. There's a lot of ship lines that aren't going to touch it because it's hazardous material you're dealing with.
Right.
So I think am I correct in saying, Wilson, there's 2 ship lines, but only really one that the majority of ma and pa have access to. So
So there's before, as far as I know, before there were 2 lines of transportation of fireworks in China, inland. One directly to Shanghai, and the other is to Guangdong. And later, the other line was cut off. For there's safety issue happened right there. So there's only one routing to Shanghai now. Every fireworks container has to go to Shanghai and leave right there. And there is only this one big giant company called Huayang International, and they are very capable. They handle all the fireworks containers, help us to ship it out. So I don't know, honestly. I have no idea if there's going to be the second line. I don't know, probably not, because that's dangerous goods. And for us, for a safety concern, it's will be luxuries to have 2 lines fireworks shipping. So there's going to be 1 line, and over 90%, let's say 95% fireworks to the States are exported from Shanghai, and Beihai is only very tiny percent of that.
But that's your brother's product coming out of Beihai.
Yeah.
Right. So roughly, you have about 4,000 containers that are typically put on a ship for fireworks, and right now you guys are only able to get maybe 3 or 4, roughly, on a ship. Each year, approximately, how many containers of fireworks are lost at sea? Because I know we're not even talking about damage or risk. We're just talking about what he's talking about. If they're only being able to load 3 or 4 containers for each ship, you got to factor in risk and damage and storms and all those kind of things. So where do you see that number being, considering the additional risk factors? Wilson?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, how many fireworks are lost at sea? I'm not sure, because sometimes we saw things happen on news that then maybe there's a ship catching on fire and there's fireworks right there, and probably loaded too many containers and dropped it and sink the ship. Not many, but I know there's a lot of containers unshipped every year. They happen to every company, every factory. For us, we tried it as much as we can, as hard as we can, like 1% or 1 to 2%. That means if you have 100 containers per year, that means you have 1 or 2 containers unshipped. It's not going to catch the job or the product closed, or we are approaching Chinese New Year. Nobody working at the custom, so not happen often in fireworks.
Okay. Jason, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I think to elaborate on the shortage of containers, I can comment on the container we got. Was it 3 weeks ago? We had a window container that came in, and the quality of containers is poor. They're fixing stuff or even attempting to fix stuff and get it back into circulation that probably in normal years wouldn't be that way. I was joking with Wilson on our last conference call over there that particular container had tar covered playing cards ceiling holes in the ceiling.
Oh wow.
That's how bad it was. And we lost 30 cases. We had 30 cases with seawater damage on that particular container. And, that's just 30 cases out of 900. I mean, it's every at this point in time, every case is precious, but we can't sell it. It's unsafe. It's illegal here in Iowa to even do that. If you get caught trying to sell a product that's been damp like that, they will yank your license on the spot and shut your doors. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think that's I think that's something else we really haven't discussed or talked about. So you bring up a very important point. It's not so much about a fireworks shortage or prices of going up, but the quality of fireworks. We're not going to be sure if the quality of fireworks is going to be the same due to shipping conditions like that.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely there are some corners that are being cut. In that aspect. I mean, it was a joke. We were sweeping out the container because you have to sweep them out. You got to pull off all the placards and everything, or else they charge you extra for it. And I looked at the floor and I was like, "What is with these playing cards?" And they got tar on them. Where they kind of looked up, I'm like, "Oh, that's where that wet product was." They stuck playing cards covered in tar to the ceiling to try to seal a hole in it from the inside.
Oh man.
And that wouldn't fly a year ago. That wouldn't, 2 years ago. It's just that's what you're faced with. They're weighing. Can we get this product out? And it's not Wilson's fault. They have nothing. They don't have a say in that. They don't. That's totally an issue with our broker to handle. So.
Well,
but I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and even over here, we store a lot of product or a lot of our overrun in shipping containers, and the price of shipping containers. I think we were buying what was called a one tripper, so there's no leaks. There's a fresh paint job on them. They look nice. I think we were paying $6,500 a piece for those a year ago, in delivery and everything included. And we've got two that are just. They're eyesores. The paint is falling off. And they're dry, but the doors don't work as nice as you'd like them to. And it costs us $9,000 a piece for them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is there insurance on situations like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We can make a claim on that damaged product. So,
okay.
There's a process for that.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want people losing product and losing lost revenue for situations like that. But it still boils down to lost revenue because Jason was going to take a hit for stuff that he can't sell that he ordered to have in the store for next season or even coming up for New Year's. So
and there was a large nationwide distributor that lost multiple containers in that accident last year, where that storm came up and all those containers fell off that ship.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just, talking to him, and he's like, we got insurance to cover the monetary, but that just covers the cost of the product. He says, we're out.
Yeah.
We're out all that profit on top of it. Insurance doesn't cover that. And to boot, you got all these retail. He has his own retail location. Wholesale customers are upset because they're not getting the product. And, it was short. It was short already. It's just salt in an open wound is all that is.
Yeah, truck drivers were complaining about that too because that's lost trips for them. That's lost work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's an important stateside thing. I mean, if there's other dealers watching out here, I know that like Dave Guccione and Mike Collar from Winco have been in their videos putting out that, hey guys, treat these truck drivers with respect and get them on the road. Yeah. They got plenty of loads to come, and the next one, might be yours that's getting held up, and we do our best. We got a 2-hour window to unload 900 cases of product by hand because, they don't stack these things on pallets, man.
Wow.
And they don't load them. They don't load them that way either. I've watched some of those videos of how these guys load them containers over there, and they're good. I would not want to challenge any Chinese warehouse crew to a game of Tetris. They will beat you every time. They know how to take up every square inch of space. They do a good job. But that being said, it's you gotta get these truck drivers on the road, and we try to treat them like gold. I mean, we had dinner for the crew unloading the last container, and we're like, man, get in there, get something to eat while you're waiting for us to unload that, and get our 2-hour window done. Because if you don't get it done in 2 hours, they charge you a lot more. You get emergence charges, and that's a lot to do with shipping too. Put yourself in some of these shipping companies. If you got a ship sitting at anchor off of Long Beach for a month, what's that cost you? You got fuel, you got crew, you've got not to mention you're not getting back to China with a load of products being exported from the United States, and then you got to get those containers back. So it's just a vicious cycle is what it is. And a lot of that's what's driving these surcharges right now. And I think, last I checked was $13,000 for our peak season surcharge right now. And it's probably gone up since the last time I looked. It's been a couple weeks because I didn't want any more bad news. But, you put yourself in the shoes of those guys. It's right. Just a blunder upon blunders. It's not good for anybody, no matter if you're in fireworks or, my day job, I work in the commercial tire industry. And was it 3 weeks ago? We were running out of valve stems for trucks. Talk about insult to injury. You can't get components to fix the trucks, to haul everything to get it back.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Supply chain definitely needs improvement right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. Wilson, you have any good news for us? Tell us about some new product that we can probably expect for 2022. Maybe some new stuff you guys are working on, or just give us a little insight as to what you guys, are currently doing there.
Okay. Actually, we just finished the NFA demo in September. So we have shoot out like 25 items, but due to the shortage of time, there's only 22. But we have one special product that we, I guess, not many of us know about this because we haven't, promoted too much. It is we call it Pyro, and Jason knows about that. It is very special product. It doesn't look like the normal fireworks, 500 grand, 200 grand, but it's a fun product. It's a fun play, and I bought a box of that to show.
Oh, sweet!
Show you guys what's it's gonna like. It's in a box, 4 pieces in the color box. But if you want, you can lose the box as well to put in a case. So let me take it out. This one is called Funky Frogs. And some of you may saw it on YouTube before. And see, right here, there's tube right here on the outside. Actually, yes. It is a fountain. It's a fountain. And on the outer side of it is an empty tube.
Oh, sweet.
Right, there's nothing in it. So, how to play? How do we play? Let me show you. When you take it out the cakes from the case, see this one. Oh, I'm not sure. This fountain, and this other one, the empty tube, and the other one. Just slide it in. So you slide it in. It comes a 4-piece in a case, right?
Right.
It goes in a link together, and looks like this. So, and if you put 4 together, you have a small show in the backyard. So that is the unique structure of this Pyro cube.
Yeah, that looks nice. I like that.
So you don't
Hey, you
have
said
to light one by one. Just there's a few. You need. What you have to do is light one of them and sit back.
Mhm.
That's what you can do. Also, you can look. You can light them separately. So there's two way to play the fireworks.
Okay.
It's
And a special note, Wilson,
yep.
all the 200 gram, all the 350 gram, and all the 500 gram products
Yes.
in this line are interchangeable.
Mm-hmm. And
That's pretty nice.
we have developed some other cereals, including 64 shots, 500 gram, and 34 shots, 500 gram. Different
Okay.
cereals.
So in that series, the ones you're showing, those fountains or those cakes?
These
They're
fountains
cakes
are
with a
cakes
fountain at the end.
combination. This
So
one is fountain.
Yeah. The
This
rest is
part
variable.
is a fountain. And
okay.
here is multiple shots.
Oh, nice. I don't think I've ever seen a design like that before.
So the fountain ignites the fuse on the next one, or if
Yes.
you light them individually, you know when the cake's done because you see a fountain that flies.
Ah.
Yeah.
But it goes back to a long time ago that we have a very special product called, we were connected them with rubber tubes, and there's a fuse in it. And then our technician came up with this idea: what if we can connect them individually to form a chain and to make a small show? Then that you can do it on your own, even if you don't have much knowledge about fireworks. So,
Right.
So that comment that's up right now from Pyro Masa, he's talking about cutting down on fuse. Yes, it does cut down on fuse, which is hard to get. And Wilson, we had that conversation about why is everybody asking for fuse? Is there a fuse shortage? Oh yeah, there's a fuse shortage.
of course, there's a fuse there on each one of them. See, I peel it off.
Mm-hmm.
And the fuse is in this part, the 500 gram cake. Depends on the structure. Mm-hmm. Of course, you can light it individually.
Yep. So you connect them, and then yes, you don't need a connecting fuse or a separate E-match or an extra Q. The body of your show. We have the Avengers series from these guys in stock in the 500 grams, and first of all, they sold just because they had the Avengers on them. And we had people that seen it on Facebook and rushed in and bought them just because of what was on the wrap, but after they seen them and seen what was going on. And the other point is stability. So when you're connecting those, so think about this, and where the heck is our rack builder, our safety guy when we need him? Where's he at? Is he on the line?
Who are you talking about? Eric from Pyro Boom, or someone else?
No. Oh my gosh, brain fart. Brian.
Oh.
What?
I had a question though. So how many stores right now are in the USA are carrying that particular product? I mean, we know Iowa has those in stock as of right now. If you guys are interested in driving there to pick some up,
you'll find them in the Midwest. They initially came in through a distributor in North Dakota, so okay. You'll find them primarily in Dakotas, Nebraska. I've seen a couple in Missouri and Kansas, and then our store. But because Black Scorpion is new to the market, it's not something you're commonly going to see.
right?
It's up and coming, and we're working on developing that product further. So there's more. I mean, the catalog, we got the catalog in the mail, and they have definitely expanded that line, because what you were seeing there, the Funky Frog was that the first one, the Funky Frogs, Wilson?
That's the new.
Yep, and there's the new catalog.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of choices.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique design. I really like it.
But yeah, I'd like Redbeard's input on the safety factor of that,
Transformers,
Let's see here.
etc.
Well, I guess they should be weighted down pretty good. You got 4 cakes kind of fused together, so to speak, or interconnecting. That would keep it
improves
pretty grounded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only ones I've ever seen a problem with were cakes were more or less the 250 gram shots where they've had maybe a big impact or a big punch. I've only seen those. I haven't really seen any 500 gram cakes that really look like they would create some type of stability issue.
Oh, they can, but 200 grams are the worst, especially if they're like the little 7 shots.
Yeah.
The ones you pick up, oh, look at all the weight, and they got that giant plug of cement in the middle. Well, they're trying to hold them on the ground, but those things are notorious for tipping over, and that's something that us as retailers have to educate our consumers, especially new consumers, because the last thing you want is somebody coming in and buying one of them. They tip over, they hit a house, they hit a car.
Yeah.
Even worse, they hit a person. And then you've lost a customer. The whole industry lost a customer, not just us, not just Wilson. Yeah. The whole industry has lost a customer, and they're going to get scared. So,
yeah, that's one of the things I've loved about some of the new, more recent Pyro products is that they're putting notices or disclaimers on the product. Because before, you would buy something, you had no idea if it was an aerial, you had no idea if it was a fountain, you had no idea what it was going to do. It was just light it and run. But I know that's really been a huge stepping stone in the Pyro community as far as having some type of instructions that goes along with it. In addition to YouTube videos, of course.
Well, CPSC requires that. That's a requirement. You have to have that on your labeling.
Of course, it's a requirement on Chinese firework standards. If you don't have the warning text or the disclaimers on the label, you're not gonna sell them or export them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's definitely good to hear.
Hey Wilson, what's that? You guys had another cake at the demo there. That's this is exciting news in the industry. Girandola's is back.
Oh,
that
one is called Funny Cat. Actually,
yeah, I didn't prep you for that. I should have. Oh, look at that!
Right. So this there's the Girandola. It's Amplitude that took it out. So the idea comes from that we were watching a episode of Rockets. I think that's a long time ago, and at their first beginning of this product design, it's very hard to connect the Girandola with the multiple shots because they need a supporter, a wooden support like this that you can spin and go up high. So it looks big when you get this products on hand. It looks big, and have some, there's some multiple shots on the around the Girandola. So I know there's some other companies selling Girandolas as well, and for us, it's a little bit hard for us to make this product, especially get this kind of tube.
It's hard to do them right.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It's a whistle. It's a whistle. So now it's because the license requires that you have to have the quality to produce whistle, because the whistle powder is very sensitive. It's different from other fireworks powder. So you don't sell them. You can just only make by yourself, or either you buy finished products from the other companies. That's what you do. So that's one of the reasons why there are not many Girandola on the market.
Okay.
And there's lead to another issue that I want to brought about today. There's certain, I'm sure consumers might not know that, but wholesales like Jason knows that there's a certain period of time for factories and companies like us to adapt to the national national fireworks standard of
Okay.
ours, China's national fireworks standard. Some products with big tube, like bigger than 2 inches, they might be changed from 0.4G to 0.3G in the future. And so that means it requires a higher level of capacity to build your own supply chain and your own risk resistance. And I'm not sure if you know about the term CIQ. It means custom inspection and quarantine,
Okay.
which is responsible for all the exported products safety inspections in China. They do their job according to China fireworks standard. They are some differences between American fireworks standard and Chinese fireworks standard. So right now, if your products are not um, does not comply the Chinese fireworks standard, you are not allowed to sell it. You are not allowed to export it. So that is a major difference. And I think the wholesalers and importers in the United States have to pay attention to that. And you will have to take time to study that standard.
Okay.
It's will do big influence on your sales and your product variety. That's what I'm gonna, I want to bring it up. And the name of this, the code of this standard is GB10631. You gotta remember that. That's very important.
Do you want me to? What did you say again? Let me type it here in the chat. So it says
Okay,
GB what?
GB10631. That's the code of the China fireworks standard.
China
Any
fireworks.
fire, anyone, yeah, any firework product that does not comply with the standard are not allowed to export.
Oh wow! And so there goes another hit on on inventory.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see here. So when you have the fireworks coming in, I mean, well, so you have so many set months to produce fireworks, and then you have everything else going on. So what is that timeline like as far as bringing everything up to standard or up to code?
Well, for us, that's the job we have to do. Um, the production time, like us for in 2021, is only like 80 days till August.
Okay.
There's National People's Congress and Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. Takes about half month in March. So when it comes to the standard, um, we have to, let's roll with the punches. What you gotta do, you gotta do. You have to abandon what that is not allowed, and that is the reason why some factory quit. They are,
Mm,
they have their production line and their way of producing fireworks that do not comply with the standard. So
right.
there's a lot of sacrifice in fireworks industry, and people don't know about that, and we don't want to mention about it. That's sad, I say that's kind of sad.
Wow. Jason, thoughts on this?
You know, it's I think we alluded to that. When we were talking before, that there's always a crisis in this business.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always something, and somehow we figure something out, and it drives ingenuity. It drives entrepreneurs to figure out issues, and the strong survive.
Right.
It comes down to, the same thing is going to happen over here. They're seeing fireworks factories closing over there, but there's some dealers that aren't going to be back next year, and after this year, there's going to be more, unfortunately. There was a lot of if you were getting in this business on this side of the water, and you were highly leveraged, you're not going to be able to afford the shipping right now,
Right.
and it's going to cause issues. I mean, the larger ones, the larger dealers, and the smart businessmen will still be here, but there's a lot of, we had dealers that came into our store begging for product this year, and they're like, well, I got $10,000. And I'm like, $10,000 doesn't stock a tent. I'm sorry. It's not 2018, 2017 anymore.
Right.
It's the days of that are done.
Right.
So, and variety is going to suffer, because if you're in Wilson's shoes, think about what you're producing. Are you going to you're going to produce what's in the highest demand when you're cut short with other issues? So there's maybe some new products that don't come out. There's products that take too much time to manufacture that that aren't going to get done. And I think I've already seen that a lot, and especially I'll pick on Brothers. There's a lot. What was the choices from Brothers this year were drastically less than what they were a year ago. So, and I would assume that's going to be a lot of manufacturers. They're going to produce what's going to sell the most and what they can fill these containers up with and get them out the door.
Right. Kind of speaking a little bit on this subject, Jason, have you seen any retailers go out of business since the end of this fireworks season because they can't, or they know they couldn't make it?
Yeah. They just, especially some older folks that have been in the business and just said it's time to retire.
Okay. Because I haven't seen too much of a mention of that from like a lot of companies, whether people are just gonna weather the storm or.
Well, and it probably wouldn't be something that and most of the people viewing this are in Nevada, where you have there's very few dealers. They're large dealers. They're established dealers. Here in the Midwest, where you have a lot of temporary structures, as we call them in Iowa, places that are only, they have a limited selling season. Even worse when you get to a state like Kansas, or where you got 5 days. You have a lot of, there are a lot of mom and pop entrepreneurs. Unfortunately, a lot of nonprofits. We had a couple of emails right after the 4th from some church groups that were, they didn't get product this year, and then they didn't get their main fundraisers, and they're just looking for other sources. Where do we go? Where do we go next year to make sure that we get stuff?
Right.
And it's going to be tough. And, I think, the majority of the ones that won't be back next year that have already thrown in the towel, you're seeing people that were just, they're to retirement age, and it's a good time to retire. This year, it's going to be the financial. It's going to be, it's going to be the fact that it cost me $10,000 to stock that tent 2-3 years ago. Now it's going to cost me $50,000. Well, I don't have $50,000, or you have to go borrow $50,000. And what company in the right mind is going to, you're getting to the point where you're over half of your landed cost of that product is shipping. It's surpassed. Yeah. Well, shipping doesn't have a tangible value to it. So how do you borrow against that?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it could go up too. I mean, you could borrow $50,000, and then it goes up. The cost goes up a few days later.
Right, and that's why there's going to be some guys that they're always complaining. Well, where's the wholesale list? Where's the wholesale list? Where's the wholesale? Well, you can't put out a wholesale list because you don't know what's going to cost. You have no idea. We've gone.
Yeah.
We're now currently it's $29,000 to the Port of Los Angeles. Then you add $13,000 to that in seasonal surcharge. So you're $42,000 on a container of fireworks. 42 grand. That's a lot of money. That's more than the value of what's in there.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much $600 per CBM, right?
Yeah, we're over 500.
And let's say averagely you have 15 cases, or in one CBM that would be $40 per case.
Mm-hmm.
What is that before? Jason, what is that before for one case before?
Prior to the season, I was figuring at $324 per CBM was where we were at. And now we're 520 something, changes daily, but that's a huge increase. So when the people are out there complaining about, well, I bought that case of cakes wholesale for $60. It costs $40 to ship it now.
Yep.
I
feel you. Look, I'm right with you. You got to adjust with the times. The 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago pricing. Like when I do my videos, I'm not so much focusing on what something costed 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, because that's just it's just unreasonable. When I do my pricing, I factor in what the current cost is, and then what other stores are possibly selling it for. So let's say you got 5 stores in the Midwest selling the same item. Is it $5 over there? Is it $10 more somewhere else? All using the current pricing. The past tense is gone. I mean, you can't really use that as a barometer to measure how much you should pay based upon what's going on right now in the industry standards.
Well, and put this into perspective as well. 2021, there was some residual product out there. You had product that was bought at a cheaper rate. It was still some of it on the shelves. People were, large nationwide wholesale distribution companies were cleaning out warehouses that hadn't been cleaned out in years. I use this for an example. I got 6 cases of a 200-gram cake from a large nationwide distributor. And I just happened to look at them the other day. I looked at the cases. The date codes were from 2008. So that stuff's dried up. They have swept out the warehouse. It's gone. So cost averaging that is no longer applicable. Now it matters to when did you, as the retailer, purchase that product and at what price. And if you're a temporary dealer that's relying on just-in-time delivery, well, you're screwed, because you are at the highest rate, because you're waiting for that container to come in June or May, or not get there at all, like they learned some of them learned this year. And you're the shipping's just going to continue to climb. So if you were asleep at the wheel, and I was just looking at some store tour videos in Nevada, and like, oh, just wait, it's going to come down. Okay, keep with that philosophy. It's just going to come down. They're just jacking up the prices because it's the off season. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because it should be the opposite.
No. And if you like football, remember, there is no off season. There's no
off season in this business now. There isn't. It used to be, go on vacation, spend all that money you made, and then go borrow money to go ahead and get in it the next year. Well, if you were on that philosophy, guess what? You just got nipped in the butt by your finances.
Yep. That's, you're preaching to the choir, because I've talked to some store owners and some other pyros, and I've told people, I said, listen, when you're doing your pricing and you think there's going to be a shift in the market, you can't sell product you bought 3 or 4 years ago at current rates. You got to slowly adjust that
replacement cost, or we use a cost average system. That's the fair way to do it, is the cost average.
Yeah, and then you also got to factor in for the unknown. You know, like right now, you know, somebody could be buying. You don't know if it's going to go up a few more dollars for shipping. So you got to kind of forecast that and factor that in potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're already at. I think I said on one of the first times I talked to you that I thought 33,000. That was my guess for this year. Well, boy, was I wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already $10,000 off.
Okay. Wow, cool. Well, I definitely want to thank everybody for joining tonight. I know I wanted to keep it to an hour because our guests have to get back to work and get some sleep. Wilson, anything you want to say in closing?
Well, as you know, as the first fireworks manufacturer to go live stream with wholesalers like Jason and Keo, like you, I'm very honored and very excited to be part of this. You know, that I have a window to speak out and let people know the things that unsacked before. So truly, there's things going on, and there's a lot of problems and will happen in the future, but we will find a way to figure it out, and we always strive to get things done, and we have the experiences to make fireworks, and we love to work with more distributors and importers to enjoy this fireworks business. And we have canister shells going to be finished in October, and we're going to have a new video of these products, and I'm going to do some interview in the factory. So stay tuned and subscribe our channel. I will upload a video then.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to them on Chili Fireworks. And then, of course, also subscribe to Iowa Fireworks Farm with Jason over there and Wade. They do some good products out there in the Midwest. And then, of course, I will put a link. There should be a link in the description of this video where you guys can find them. But they should be on my favorites list. Jason, anything you want to say?
No, just watch our Facebook page. Hopefully Wilson and crew gets done building them shells, and as soon as that container load of shells gets in, we're going to get them to the market and
of course
get people to see them. There's some amazing effects in there. These kits were built around a variety of effects in a single box.
That's
awesome. And
we got we didn't bring in the 4-inch, but we brought both the 5s and the 6s in on this load. So stay tuned. It's going to be great for variety. And that's going to be a key thing going in this year. If you can't afford to buy 3 boxes of shells, well, what are you going to gravitate to? Well, I'm going to buy 1 box that's got 3 or 4 different things in it. So awesome. We're excited. Love the packaging. Packaging's great. Names are great.
No, definitely. All right, guys. Well, you guys all have a good night, and make sure when you subscribe to each one of our channels, hit the notification bell so that way you get alerted as to when a new video comes up. Sometimes YouTube doesn't let people know when new videos are being posted until like months or days later. So,
yeah. Well, everybody have a blessed day, and I'm going to bed. Wilson, you better get to work getting my shells done, bud.
Of course. I'm on my way.
All right.
All right, guys. You guys all have a good night.
Yep. Good night.
Good night.